Alright, so in this latest patch, gloves just got a massive rework. Like, just about every single glove across the board, but I'm going to show you the biggest ones and the changes that came with them. For driver gloves, a lot of the inner palms of the gloves, like for the black ties, are now darker. So, instead of like the super clean white that we had on the palms with black ties, now they're a bit more beat up and gray. They still look great, but I will have to say that this was a bit of a nerf for these gloves. You can also see this on the overtakes as well, because previously overtakes used to have this super clean yellow inner palm, and now it's got this like mottled, grayish look to them. They look way more realistic. They made the gloves look, more like in real life, and you'll see that in the next gloves that I'm going to show you, because they changed the colors as well. So with overprints, you can see that they received a heavy nerf in terms of their color. The contrast was moved way down to, make it look a little bit more realistic, I guess. However, in return, the overprints now look way darker. They used to be this super bright cyan color. Now they're much darker, which in my opinion is a heavy nerf for the overprints. Nonetheless, the gloves still look really good though. Alright, moving on to Moto gloves, which received an absolutely enormous buff, in my opinion. This buff was across the board for every polygon glove. They are way more vibrant. You can see the stitching way better. The actual hard part of the glove now is way more 3D and reflective. And the colors on, take a look at these polygons right here. I think these gloves look absolutely insane now. I'm going to show you a few more. Alright, now let's look at smokeouts, which literally got completely reworked. So previously, smokeouts used to have this full black, black part on the top of the hand, and that got changed. They are actually pattern-based now, with this smoky no haze, with the name smokeout. We've got this smoke pattern across the black part of the glove, and I think it looks incredible. The stitching is much more clearer now, with the white, and overall, this glove pair looks insane now. This was a massive buff, holy. Now, boom gloves used to be pretty average in my opinion. Now, just take a look at them. Oh my god. Okay, so they've got this super shiny chocolate look, honestly, on the, the palms and the fingers, and I think these gloves went from 0 to 100. These look wonderful now. The color balancing or contrast that they changed, it did wonders for this glove. This glove is actually really good looking now. I mean, previously they used to be pretty washed out. This is insane. The final Moto gloves I'll show you is Cool Mints, and they always look good, but with this latest update they look just even better. The blue is a bit more deeper, and once again the 3D aspects that they added to the gloves really make Moto gloves in particular look really nicely now. Okay, moving on to a different type of glove. Now, sports gloves received the biggest changes of them all, and just take a look at Vice gloves. What have they done? I'm in pain right now. Vice gloves got one of the biggest nerfs I've ever seen in any CS skin history. What is this? Good god. These look actually terrible now. I am so sorry to anyone who has Vice gloves. I don't know what Valve was thinking with this one. Bro, they missed. This is dog water. Oh my god. And Pandora's got completely reworked as well. The middle part is not black anymore. It's this purple color, and the lines also aren't black. They are now this I don't know, this gray and blue color. Personally, I think they got a massive nerf. I've talked to some other people. They said they like them. In my opinion, I think Pandora's look significantly worse than they were before. Once again, I have no idea why they changed this. Pandora's looked great before, but I guess this is how they look now, and I'm not a big fan of it, honestly. Alright, Scarlet Shams are up next, and I think they got a great buff because they look way more vibrant, way more clean, and specifically the wear on these looks way better because when they wear, instead of losing color, they actually turn red. Let me show you a high float pair of these. Alright, so here is a 0.60 pair of Scarlet Shams, which is super high float, and you see how it's red now? So I think they made the wear on these gloves look way better now, so higher floats do look better in general. Alright, next up are Omega gloves, which got one of the most insane 3D effects I've ever seen on any type of skin in CS2. So, all of the little hexagonal patterns or the triangles on the gloves now have this shiny effect and 3D mapping look to it. And honestly, these gloves look completely different now. In my opinion, I think these gloves look wild. I think these are super clean now. The 3D effect on these is fire, and I'm just not used to Omega gloves looking like this now. I mean, I'm a huge fan of the change though. I think this is a very nice pair of gloves now, even more so than before. If y'all want to talk about buffs, Nox got the holy grail of buffs. So they used to be gray, they made them black. These gloves are the definition of sleek now. They are full black, any type of black knife. Literally, these gloves go with anything now. They're just pitch black. They look absolutely sleek. You look like a hitman using these, and I'm actually like impressed at how good these look now. I wasn't a huge fan before, but damn, these look amazing now. Massive buff. Next up are hedge mazes, which got a bit of a buff. Once again, in the color, the contrast, the palm is now this lime green color. They are very bright. They are very eye-catchy. I think hedge mazes got a great upgrade, and they didn't change the actual 3D part of it. I'm surprised, considering Omega's got a massive change. But if they do that to hedge mazes, along with the color that they have now, I think they will be one of the best gloves in the game by a mile. Next up are big games, and I think these look significantly better. So it almost seems like they made the actual like texture look a little bit sharper. So let me show you in darker lighting. The orange on the gloves, the white branches, they all look way cleaner and sharper. The contrast is much better on these gloves. And honestly, I think big games got a great buff. These look much better than they did before in terms of their color. So slingshots look pretty similar. They are still, super high contrast red. They're very clean. What they did change, and it's very similar to the driver gloves, is the inner palm, where instead of having this one shade of color, they basically made it like this mottled, like, scratched up look, with the black, adding the black to the color, which in my opinion makes the glove, inner palm a bit, not as clean as it was before. Nonetheless, I think slingshots look great, even, with the little bit of a nerf that came to the inner palm. Alright, and the last sports gloves I'll show y'all is the bronze morphs, because these got a massive upgrade as well. The red on these is, the contrast of the red got like exponentially launched up, and so the green, I still hate the color scheme of these gloves, I'll be honest, but I think they look 3 times better than they did before. The red on these, it's not this washed out red, it is now like this high deep shade of red, and honestly, I think these gloves might look significantly better with maybe like green knives or red knives. But yeah, this is a very random upgrade, honestly, and I'm a fan of it. I think these gloves definitely look better now than they did before. So here's all the biggest changes that came with this latest update to gloves. Gloves now in general look way more 3D, way more realistic. The colors have been toned down to make them look like, IRL gloves basically, and a couple of the gloves got reworked. My favorite change from this whole update was honestly smokeouts, now that they're pattern based. I think that's amazing. And yeah, it was a lot of changes to all the gloves. Check out, each specific individual ones if y'all are interested. But that's all I have for y'all today. All right, see you guys. Peace.